take your bit to get back into it.
Jag's back. How lucky are we?
Jag.
Look, Jag back.
Let's go side, space in the interchange bench. Pop it up.
Yeah. Need a hat. I should have brought a hat.
I got mine in the car. I took it off just to be here because we've got to take it off at the... oh, nice.
I'll do an officer salute to...
Who else is it beyond this pictures here?
Hey?
Who else is going to stand here with you?
No.
Graham?
I'll go along that line.
Yeah, pull that mic down. It's a bit high for you, mate. No, it's got to go the other way, mate. You've got to face the crowd. See how he's got the... See how he marked it?
I did that.
Yeah, that was from you the other day.
They're live. Live stream's on. Got to go?
I'll be okay.
What? I tell him that.
Oh, yeah, there.
I'll wait till the end of the song.
Hello, how are you?
The live stream's on.
Is that what you say? Oh, it could be anything.
Can't. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to North Hobart Oval. Before today's game between North Hobart and Lauderdale, we will commemorate the 108th anniversary of the landing at Gallipoli by Australian and New Zealand forces with an observance ceremony. Shortly the players and officials will line up and be joined by their presidents, Andrew Lydon and David Kilpatrick. The catapult party under the command of Corporal Nick Isles will now mount. The catapult party is a guard of 4 service personnel who are posted by the commander as sentries. They are posted facing outwards with the rifles reversed to show respect. To recite the ode today, Mr Des Berry. Des is from Melbourne. He now resides in Hobart. He joined the Australian Army in 1967. Des served in Vietnam with the 9th Battalion. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding? I ask that all gentlemen remove their headdress as I invite Des to recite the ode. That will be followed by the last post and a minute's silence.
They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them. Lest we forget.
Please remain standing for the New Zealand National Anthem and the Australian National Anthem to be sung by musician Melanie Brown.
God of nations, at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shafts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand. Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia
Catafalque party will now dismount. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. They're your local reservist soldiers from 2FSP, Australian Army Band Tasmania. Now the umpires and captains from both teams will be joined by Graham Holton, President of the TPI, who will toss the coin. Please grab yourself a refreshment. Bombers are going west. Who's ready for the footy?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome work.
No worries, mate.
Awesome.
Good afternoon and welcome to North Hobart Oval for this big ANZAC Day TSL clash between North Hobart and Lauderdale. It's a beautiful day for football here at this historic old ground. A day of significance we've had at the pre-game ceremony. We're ready to get to the game here. I'm Andrew Calling. Joining me on the call this afternoon, Bo Downham. What are you looking for in this one, Bo?
Good afternoon, Joy. I think North Hobart fancied himself here, so it's going to be a cracking game. Weather-wise, I don't think you could ask for much more. We spoke about it on Saturday being perfect conditions, but I reckon these are nearly perfect. It's going to be interesting to see the midfield battle. Adam Bester's third game in charge, so we'll see how he goes against a strong Lauderdale side who bet Glenorchy pretty convincingly last week. Sam Siggins in the ruck here and Dom White.
So, just about in readiness here. It's going to be a hotly contested clash out there this afternoon. Two teams eager for a victory. Certainly looking forward to what they've got in store. We're underway here. Siggins and Jackson clash in the middle of the ground. Umpire spots an early free kick. It'll go the way of the Bombers. They look to move it quickly to Siggins. Siggins flicks the handball over the top. Sutton, he's run down from behind by Bingham. Hot early on here. McGuinness wanted to skip away, but it'll be brought back to Bingham for the free kick. Just allow the Bombers to get set up behind the ball. So, Bingham will drive them long, searching there, just slipping though as he's targeting White. And the Bombers will take it along the far wing here. A little chip inside is a good one, finds Ed Stanley. Creative player off half-back Stanley. Sends it out wide, plenty of bodies back behind the ball. Nick Jackson just dropping back into the hole for the Demons inside the forward 50 as Stixie Blackburn almost gets to that one, taken away from him. Walsh flicks the handball back. They'll drive it forward. It wasn't a great kick though, straight out of bounds on the full. So from half back, the Demons. Chip inside. Decides to switch it up. Campbell on his own in the back pocket, and he'll complete the switch there. Out wide there to Hasty over the top, has Zach Barrow in a bit of room down the wing. Barrow charging down the wing with space. It's a lovely kick. White hitting up at the ball. And he looks up. Lefebvre leads. That's ignored. Goes a little deeper instead. Plenty of Bombers back there. They get in the way. Finlay poke first to the fall of the ball. He's brought to the ground. Time. The snap kick is well off target, and it should be a fairly easy intercept taken there by Steinbauer. Not a lot of direction on that kick. Easily picked off. Plenty of heat around the ball in the opening 2 minutes of this one. Steinbauer takes him outside defensive 50, looking for Sandrick. Floated over his head, trying to get the intercept. Couldn't quite. Nat Franklin in the corridor. Drives them inside forward 50. Jackson attacking the football there. Just parked in the space. Couldn't control the ball though. Might let the Bombers back in. Almost did for a minute. Campbell takes it away. Gets it to Sandrick. Sandrick goes in the Finlay poke direction, but Bell Chambers has his name written all over that one. He takes the mark. Drives them down the wing. Taking the mark is Sutton. Sutton chips inside and just making McGuinness stretch there. Such a key man of this side is McGuinness. McGuinness driving towards half forward. Stixie Blackburn again the target. Plenty of Demons there and out of play for our first stoppage from a frenetic first few minutes here really.
Hayden Smith starting down full forward. Really good game last week. Kicked a few goals. Really agile ruckman. So it's going to be interesting to see the match up there. He's played really well last week against Glenorchy. So back into play here in the sunshine on the near wing. North Hobart Oval looking an absolute picture this time of year. And that'll be called for a recall. Controlling umpire just saying, really give the Rucks much of a chance on that one. We'll go again. Yeah, Jacob Bevis down there. He should...
Yeah, lift Bev show.
Come on, Bev.
Expect better from the Bev show than that. We'll let him have one as he tosses it back in here.
Oh, no.
Again, he's pitched it a little short. The umpire just says, go with it this time. The Bombers get the ball. Siggins couldn't quite get it. Taken away from him. Dominic White scoops it over the top to Poke. He'll play the 1-2 as White continues his run through the middle. It's a wide open 50. Jack McCulloch couldn't quite complete the mark. Suki got him. McCulloch kept his feet and chipped it inside to Hilda. Good composure from McCulloch after Suki beat him in the marking contest, and the first shot goal of the day will go the way of the Demons.
Really impressive run there from Dom White, just through the middle. No one could catch up with him. His first kick didn't work out, and then they mopped it up, North Hobart, to bring it back inbounds for this set shot.
So an opportunity for Joshua Hilda to open the scoring. He'll kick from around about 40 out. No angle to speak of. Good chance to open his account for the afternoon. Looks pretty good off the boot. Umpire starts to move, but he sneaks it home and gives the home crowd a lift. And look at them all run to him. Joshua Hilda with the first goal of the day. That'll get the Demons up and about. 1 straight 6. They draw first blood.
Great run there from North Hobart there. Probably a little bit of ill discipline there from Lauderdale, just not manning up, but great kick off the boot. You could see that it was going to land through as soon as he left his shoe, and he liked it a lot. The crowd, I'm guessing, would love that as well. Great crowd, by the way, Drewy. It's building up for an ANZAC Day clash, and why wouldn't you not come down here with the weather conditions? It's absolutely beautiful.
It is a perfect day for football here, that's for sure. So the Demons with the first goal. Jackson and Siggins meet in the middle. Bit of a dumping tackle there. Play allowed to continue. Spills out the way of the Bombers. Sutton, the target, will float over his head. Off hands and picked up by Patton. He dances into the 50. Patton from the angle. He sets sail for home. It looks good off the boot, and there's the immediate response from the Bombers. Luke Patton saunters into 50 and squares it up. The instant response for Lauderdale.
Great vision there from Sam Siggins to get the handball out, and as soon as he got that handball out, they were just away, Lauderdale, down the wing, and again, Patton just lined it up, knew what he had to do, and it was a great goal. Another reply there from Lauderdale happened last week with Glenorchy, the back and forth, and it's going to be a ripping contest.
Yeah, it was certainly a real arm wrestle that game in the first quarter. Not too many goals to speak of, so hopefully we maintain this scoring rate throughout. But a furious pace to the opening of this match as the umpire tosses it back in the air. Again, Siggins and Jackson meet. Jackson won it down, not decisively. No one get the clearance here. The umpire calls for it, so they'll battle once more. Jackson came in the ruck last week. He's beaten by Siggins on this occasion, though. They try and get it out there, the Demons. McLeod couldn't quite, so Siggins looped it over the top to Sutton. Sutton chips it in. Campbell backing back into the space, or it's Bradley Young rather. Couldn't complete the mark though. Made a bit of a mess of it. Able to gather it and just clear defensive 50. Smashes it out there. It rolls an awful long way. And the umpire calls for it on the wing. Ed Stanley lurking, wanting the insufficient intent there, but it'll be a throw in. Attacking side of the wing for the Bombers. Jackson with a massive job today, stepping up in the ruck here against Sam Siggins, one of the premier players of the competition. And started the season in red hot form. Sutton sweeps the handball out to Walsh, who blasts it forward. Plenty of Demons back there. They can raffle it all, making an absolute mess of it though. Swept up and recovering was Campbell. The Bombers still lurking. Good tackle laid there by Patton. Handball comes out. Well, that could be holding the football, I reckon. It is a throw called, and it's going to be a shot on goal coming up here for the Bombers. It's going to be Jeremiah Perkins with a pretty regulation shot, 25 out directly in front.
It's going to be a big game for Campbell down there, full back with Smith and Siggins to deal with. I'm not sure if Siggins will play a lot down forward, but especially Smith, he's going to be massive, and unlucky with the throw there, North Hobart, unfortunately, to give the ball back up.
Yeah, there's a scenario that really shouldn't have presented itself as a regulation drop mark, and it leads to this chance here. Jeremiah Perkins should do the business, he does. And the Bombers hit back with 2 goals. They're 2 straight 12, leading North Hobart 1 straight 6. And the heat around the ball has been pretty furious early on. You're not going to be able to fumble and get away with it, and that is what has cost the Demons there. But, head up and get on with it. Don't think would have pleased the coach overly, dropping an uncontested mark like that.
No, didn't look great, did it? But lucky it's early in the quarter, but it didn't look good. Probably a mark. It should have been taken, and then they just had to scramble and try and get it out, and unfortunately a throw.
Back to the middle, umpire throws it up. Siggins wins it down and gets his own Ruck tap, flicked it out looking for Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe across to Stanley, plays the 1-2 and then runs into a little bit of trouble. Just eluded the tackle of White. Forced him to retreat sideways over there to Williams. Williams flicks it over the top to Martin. He's mown down but got his kick away. And the other wing picked up by Wiggins. Laid in for Alan Christensen there. Patton now inside the forward 50, weaving one way then the other. Can he get his shot on goal? He bends it to the square. It's Smith in a one out. Big Smith couldn't quite bring it down. Gussie Norton first to the fall of the ball and he flicks it across to Barrow. Barrow charging out of defence now with a bit of dash for the Demons. Wheels onto his left and sends it down the line. Good mark up there from White. Not paid, but he'll get it over the shoulder. Strong pair of hands defending him, Tyler Martin. White chips it into the corridor. A couple of options there. One of them kind of down and not the best decision in the middle, but White able to gather it. Got it to Norton. Just treads water a little and waits for the leads to present themselves. Sends it wide for Wright. Tight to the boundary. He's pursued. Just got a kick away. Chipped it inside for McLeod. Slamming on the boot deep inside 50. 2-on-2 back there. Spilling the mark. Opens the chance. It's off hands, is it? Yeah, touch ball through there. Zach Barrow got his kick away. But off hands. The first minor score of the afternoon.
Great win there for Matty Campbell against Smith, and that really set it up. Got the ball to ground and just slingshot it off half back.
So chip short into the back pocket. And work it round the outer side here. Bad handball though, straight to Dominic White, able to pick that off, gets it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre handballs in and then McGuinness able to pick that one off. It's going to come right back at them as it's really just yo-yoing turnover game here at the moment. Turnover after turnover. And another one, so no excuses for the bad kicking with these conditions, but a few foot skills creeping in early.
Yeah, that wasn't a great kick there, unfortunately, for North Hobart, but you can see the intent just to push it forward and try and make a score, but again, wasn't a great kick.
So one down, taken away by Walsh, just slams it on the boot. Spoil comes from behind from Blackburn, and I reckon that might be out of bounds on the full. It is. So it'll go the way of the Demons. On the other side. Taking time here and eventually just pokes one down the line. Really made his teammate work for that one. Able to gather in the end, sends it inside 50, but that is also picked off. Back in the space there, Steinbauer. So the Demons just making a bit of a hash of it going forward in the last couple of minutes. The last three inside 50s have gone straight to Bombers players. So they look to work it around the outer side. Chip back inside to Williams. Williams internally for Bellchambers. Contested beast. Big Belcho. He chips that one inside. Steinbauer has just advanced a little bit, looking to provide some overlap. As the Demons flood back, Steinbauer. They look to pierce their way through. McGuinness. Walsh screaming for it in space on the right hand side of the 50. He heads that way now. Walsh didn't quite find him. And they'll dash out of defence now. Campbell sends it long. Bit of a push out there from Hilda. Bellchambers back inside. Absolutely crunched there was Rackett. Wins the turnover. Bingham over the top to White on his own. So the frenetic tackling brings about the turnover just as the Bombers were flying back the other way. It left them exposed out behind, and there's Spencer White with the chance to put the Demons ahead.
Yeah, you never want to have a turnover there, and the defender just caught in front is a really good and well-weighted kick to White. He'll walk in for North Hobart's second goal of the afternoon. Straight through the middle, and great effort there from North Hobart to bring the ball back into the 50 and for White to take that mark, and a goal kicked is a really good result for them.
So they take the lead 2-1, 13 to 2 straight Lauderdale 2. Apologies for the scoreboard on the stream at the moment. Just trying to get that sorted for you. But 13 to 12 is the correct score for those just tuning in. Hopefully we can get that sorted shortly for you, as it is a tight game early, and the Demons really enjoying these goals here. Both goals have drawn rapturous celebrations here, Bo.
Yeah, they're bringing the hype here, Drewy, and just want to touch on the defence there. Just probably caught in front, as I said, but yeah, great enthusiasm from North Hobart early.
So they'll look to get the clearance here, but Siggins was there on the ball. Got it to Bellchambers, flicked it across to Sutton dancing through. He handballs back and then chipped forward. Stixie Blackburn presenting up at the football. Plenty of bodies from North Hobart back, so he just chips it across. He got his man there and Nat Franklin in some space.
He had no one to go to. Sorry to interrupt there, but Jackson, the big ruckman's just dropped in the hole, so they can't really go long.
As the Demons force the turnover, Sandrick across to Lee Faber. Great tackle, Franklin. No prior opportunity. Franklin dives back on it, although over the shoulder this time will provide the free kick to the Demons. As the intensity continues, Josh Bingham started the season well. He's got Jackson on in space here. He chips back to him. Jackson now down the wing looking for McGuinness, the rangy figure, taken away from him and off hands for a throw-in.
It's great to see just a really even matchup. I think last week North Hobart ran with Launceston for the first half and slipped away, and I'm hoping that North Hobart can stay with them, because if they do, it's going to be a really great contest.
So back into play once more, and that one tumbling out, crashing in was Norton, body on the line, full commitment from Angus Norton. You'd expect nothing less. So about halfway into quarter number 1, 15-12, the hosts holding sway by just a solitary point. Smith now in the ruck, gets the better of Jackson, but a free kick's been plucked. It's going the way of Jackson. So Nick Jackson sends them inside 50, and the mark is taken by Finlay Poke. Just pushed off his defender there, takes the mark, and he'll kick from around about 45 directly in front.
Could have been a push, I reckon, Drewy, possibly, but Alan Christensen next door to us probably thought it was, but regardless, a really strong mark overhead, and they're not easy to take with the sun blaring in your eyes.
So Finlay Poke will try and extend the Demons' lead here. He saunters in, and he splits the middle, and once again, boy does he love it. They are pumped up here today, the North Hobart Demons. They're playing with purpose. They're 3-1-19, leading Lauderdale 2 straight 12. Finlay Poke, the latest to get on the scoreboard. And a strong start here from the Demons.
Their kicking's been really strong. Even that kick leading up to Poke, really good kick, and then the goal, the set shot again. Really accurate so far. The Demons only one behind early in this contest, and I think if you were talking to Adam Bester early in the game and said 3 goals in the first quarter, he'd probably take that. They want more, obviously, but probably a trouble scoring at times already this year, but I think they'd take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just 29 and 56 the scores they chalked up in the first 2 rounds. 2 fairly heavy defeats, so this would certainly be something that enjoys. I think a little infraction off the ball here has been spotted. Jackson will take it out of the middle. Perhaps a 6-6-6 breach. Anyway, Jackson sends it. White leading up at the football, and that is Silver Service. Just put it in front of him, and a good lead from White. It'll be a tough kick from here. And he wheels off immediately and launches it deep. Does it have the journey? It's got the accuracy, and it does have the journey. And North Hobart playing some inspired football here at the moment. 4-1-25 lead the Lauderdale Bombers 2 straight 12. And once again, nearly every single player on the ground gets to the goal scorer. The mood in the Demons camp is an overwhelmingly positive one at the moment, but
that's a ridiculous kick there, just to run around from 50. You'd take that any day of the week. And again, just the kicking, I spoke about it as soon as they hit up Poke. That kick to Jackson there was just inch perfect, and as he said, I believe he said silver platter or silver service. It was definitely that, and great to see North Hobart are raring.
Yeah, you love that as a forward, that kind of speed of ball movement coming in. The Demons look to win yet another clearance, just worked under it was right, so it'll be the Bombers able to take this one away, and they'd like, I think, just to possess the football a little bit as the game's got away from them in the last few minutes, as Continenza chips backwards. Stanley almost played on. And they do opt just knock the ball around the defence a little here and get their hands on the ball. Driving out of there is Gridley, and the spoil came from behind from Edmondson. Patton able to gather. Plays the 1-2, and now he looks up, has Blackburn offering short, chips it to him. Blackburn now bursting lead is being offered by Gallagher. That was ignored. Instead goes centrally. That's a good one in there towards Franklin. Nat Franklin wheels onto his right, sends it deep. Jackson dropping back. Siggins with the fly. Couldn't quite bring it down. There was Smith on top of it. They'll clamber on top of him. And the umpire will call for it.
So what we're seeing there, what I'm seeing from this box is North Hobart are dropping 2 men back. Jackson and Campbell at a man free. So really good getting numbers around the football.
Jackson thumps the ruck work out here, boundary side. Dominic White first to the ball, and he's escorted out of play by William Broomhall. Flying in over the top. Lively Bombers small forward. So they look to hit back here. The Demons just jumping them a little in the opening 20 minutes. Back into play. It's going to be Siggins doing the ruck work. Palmed it down. Norton couldn't quite take it away. And jumps in and lays the tackle. They're burrowing in there. The umpire calls for it once more.
Again, it just looks like there's a spare near the stoppage here just to get numbers out.
Jackson volleys it out of the air in the end. A little unconventional, but it works. White, the handball, couldn't find Sandrick. Crashing in Edmondson. And diving in was Bellchambers. Once more, we'll have another stoppage tight to the line. And no shock there's so many stoppages. Everyone in this half of the ground. And 36 players in one half of the ground at the moment. Really pushing up and condensing the space. Siggins wins it down. But again, they're going absolutely nowhere. A real arm wrestle here at present. So the Bombers try and get themselves a goal to get back into the contest. Across the line for a throw in. Perhaps the throw in rather than the throw up might just open up a little bit of space here. Stoppage after stoppage, the order of the day. Suit the Bombers, given the Demons were doing the damage in the open play. Norton laying a tackle.
Lauderdale midfielders just have to lift here. Bryce Walsh, 42 disposals last week, 12 clearances. They're going to need that today if they're to get any chance in front of the scoreboard. And
it was a free kick fake to Walsh for an over. No, it wasn't over the shoulder. I thought he was just saying that there. Norton, he's scrapping at ground level there as Jackson wins it down. Edmondson couldn't quite gather it. Seconds. Can someone get a clearance, please? We'll ball up again.
Hayden Smith here for Lauderdale, just down the line for a hat kick out of the stoppage.
Siggins says, I'll do it myself. He blasted into the forward pocket. Broomhall trying to gather, couldn't quite, out of play, and another throw in.
Bit of a chess here, just moving players around and a few stoppages. Hopefully Lauderdale can get something from them because they desperately need a goal here leading into the quarter.
Siggins wins it down. Couldn't quite get it away, and now finally into open space. It's Luke Patton. He's kicked one, tries to bend it round the corner. Plenty of Demons parked back there. The intercept mark was taken. Bad kick though. Spoil came. Edmondson dropped it. Gathered by Wright. Umpire was going to pull it back though. A free kick against Blackburn. I think the advantage will be paid, so it'll come back and a chance finally perhaps to clear the area here after about 5 minutes worth of stoppages in the forward 50.
Although it is tight on the boundary, so we could see another one here, but let's hope not and get this game moving quickly.
Jackson just looking a little bit proppy as he comes off on the near touchline. So, on 23 minutes in the first quarter, Edmondson goes looking for Leafheber. Wasn't the best kick though, and that floats on out of play. Out of bounds on the full, in fact. It's going to be the Bombers. They'll chip this one back. Bellchambers. 16 of his 18 disposals in round one were contested, which says it all about the type of player Belcho is. This one's chipped short. February applying the pressure, but the handball's a good one. Got it out to Walsh. Walsh spears one to Blackburn through his hands though. Probably should have had that 60 Blackburn. Eventually it's gathered back there by Spencer White. Chips it inside there looking for Sam Wright. He couldn't quite gather it and Stanley picked it up, flicked it inside. Somehow a tumbling kick was released Went to the Demons though, and they should be able to sweep across. Finlay Poke set a task here, and he was equal to it. A strong pair of hands in an important situation. He was outnumbered there, Finlay Poke, but he's kicked one early and now doing some good work at the other end of the field. Lovely kick to open things up, but a terrible drop there. Should have done better. Balking one way was Walsh, and then setting sail for home to the goal line. Just touched right on the line. Brilliantly done, Matty Campbell. A crucial hand. Had four drapes all over him. Somehow got a hand up and saves the day. 2-1-13 Lauderdale move along to. 4-1-25. North Hobart Demons holding sway here. They chip this one short to Young. Young to Charlie Hasty. Hasty forced to kick to a contest. And just drifting in and taking the mark was Alex Wiggins, as I mentioned before, laid in for Alan Christensen. But his kick's a poor one. It's chopped off by Spencer White, and they could be exposed back the other way, but he played on, and he got taken by Mel Chambers. The throw was called, as was an advantage. Sutton swoops on it. Josh McGuinness is in some space as it's kicking off in the middle here.
Punch there from Thomas Lifehaver, unfortunately, on Lauderdale player. It was kicking off there for a minute. We'll just go around the grounds quickly. 71-13, Kingborough in front. Glenorchy, James Easton 3 goals, Gardner 2 and Williams 2. So unfortunately Glenorchy aren't having the best day today.
That one's tapped down, taken away by Franklin. He squares it up where Steinbauer's in some space. Steinbauer sending it deep. Campbell trying to do the defending there on Siggins, and he did a pretty good job of it in the end. Another throw in. As we tick towards quarter time, the home side holding sway, 25-13.
Really good quarter for North Hobart. I reckon they'd take 13-point lead leading into the break.
Jackson double palmed it down, straight to Gallagher though. Kick around the corner, it's just chopped off there as intercept taken by the big fella. When dropping back into the space again, he offers the handball across. Sandrick was offering short. He goes further afield in the Young direction. Spoil came from behind from right. Charging through the contest though was Hilda. And by a hand they charge on through. Nice work there from McGuinness. Got it back inside to Hilda. Hilda sending it deep to all inside 50. McCulloch. Advantage paid, I reckon, here. McCulloch storming in on goal, and he makes a certainty of it. And the Demons have their 5th of the afternoon. 5-1-31 they move along to. As it all rather threatens to boil over here. There's plenty of feeling out here this afternoon, mate.
Pretty ginger, Josh Holder. He got a pretty deep bump, but yeah, again, North Hobart just being able to capitalise on the scoreboard. 6-1 to 2 goals.
Back, I think. So McCulloch's going to have to take his kick again after all that. As they sorted out, it was paid downfield, but the advantage then wasn't paid on top of that. So McCulloch, having made a certainty from 10 metres out, it's a slightly tougher kick, but still very gettable here from about 20. You expect a play of Jack McCulloch's quality just to slot this one through, and he truly does. So they do now move along to 5-1-31. They do get that 5th goal. And the Shadows have quarter time. They extend the lead to 19 points, although was it a free kick paid on the goal line down that other end before? I thought it was touched through from behind, so I'm not sure if the scorers haven't added that to the score at the ground here, or whether I just missed and it was paid as a hold on the goal line and not a touch behind. We'll have to get to the bottom of that one.
Yeah, I think it probably was a touch, I'm guessing, if they didn't, but yeah, it was interesting. It's good contest so far. It's threatening to boil over here a few times with some bumps on Holder and then in the middle before as they went forward, and really good contest, as I've just said.
So back into the middle, one down by Smith. Walsh just climbing over the top of it was Jonty Bowick, surely in the back. And Walsh will take the free, chips it short to Ed Stanley. Stanley sends it inside forward 50, where he just seemed to have wide open men everywhere. Tom Ratcliffe takes a chest mark and will have a chance to kick a badly needed goal for Lauderdale, and the scoreboard has indeed been updated now, and Lauderdale are 2-1-13, so it is indeed a 3-goal margin, which they will try and cut back. here to an even 2 goals. Tom Ratcliffe kicks from about 48. Don't know if it's quite going to have the journey.
Well, the umpire's gone down, so
they're going to consult here, and a touch is called. So just short. They move along to 2-2-14, taking quickly to McLeod. A little too quickly.
the umpires are still discussing there. You got to wait up a little bit. North Hobart.
Jack Sandrick takes it short. Finds Campbell in the pocket. Be quite content just to have the quarter time siren here, I think, the Demons. And there it is. So the first quarter brought to an end here. What a start from the home side. 5-1-31. The Demons leading the Bombers 2-2-14. When the ball got out into open space and there was speed on the game, they were downright electrifying at times there, the Demons. It slowed up and got rather congested for a 5 or 10 minute period, but most of the quarter it was pretty free-flowing stuff, and that really seemed to suit the Demons, but
it did. A lot of scores early for the Demons, and they just managed to push out, and Lauderdale just couldn't combat and, I guess, get a few goals on the park, unfortunately, with that touchdown on the line just then. But it's been an all North Hobart game so far, hasn't it?
it has. They'll be absolutely delighted with the start they've made here. 5-1-31 to 2-2-14 at quarter time. We'll take a quick breather and be back in about 5 minutes time with quarter number 2. An entertaining start to ANZAC Day football here at North Hobart. And it's the hosts holding sway by 17 points. Back for the second quarter here at North Hobart Oval. The home side holding sway by 17 points after an entertaining first term. Bo Downham, what do you think the Bombers need to do to get themselves back into this game in the second quarter?
Well, going long inside 50 definitely isn't going to help because they've got big Nick Jackson down there and Campbell. So they need to just lower the eyes a little bit and find a kick in the leading pattern, which is proving costly. When they go inside 50, they're just booting it high, trying to make a mark. But 2 tolls down there probably isn't going to be great, especially with the spare in Jackson. So just lower their eyes, Lauderdale, and try and kick to a lead.
So we're just about to get underway here. Looking forward to this second quarter and seeing what response we get from the Bombers here. They've been jumped by the Demons in the first term. Jackson and Siggins to do battle in the ruck once more. One down to Franklin, flicked it out to Walsh. Walsh sent it to half forwards, taken there by Patton. Wheels onto his right foot. Couldn't find Blackburn though. Dropping back across there was Stephenson. Risky kick, just worked out. Playing on was Campbell, gets out of trouble. This is all a bit dicey, but they keep a hold of the football. Back to Campbell, looking for Norton. Norton spoiled away from him really late. Had a lot of it, not paid. Now flicked out there, Sandrick. Back to Gussie Norton, looking to charge off half back. Norton by hand sweeps it across, and now further down the line, looking for Jackson. Just worked underneath it though. Leafheber was in there. Spencer White diving on top through the legs of Leafheber. And over the line, and will be thrown back into play.
Already we've seen this run from North Hobart off the half-back. Dangerous. Just linking hands and some kicks. It's going to be really difficult for Lauderdale to keep combating it if they can't get numbers and kill the ball.
Jackson slaps it down to Norton. Norton sends them deep inside 50. McCulloch pitched in front of him, took it cleanly, turned and dropped the football. Not entirely sure how it's not holding the ball, but play on. Out of bounds it will go. Tossed back into play. Jack McCulloch, a very lucky boy there.
I thought that was probably holding the ball then, but he got away with it. Luckily for North Hobart, and they'll get a stoppage inside their 50. But I think you're right. It looks like it was going to be holding the ball.
So Siggins wins this one down, but straight to the opposition. Tackle just prevented the goal in time. Stanley flicks the handball though straight to Norton. Norton shrugs the tackle, wheels onto the right and swings it just offline for a behind. Gussie Norton. They move along to 5-2, 32, an 18-point lead. So the Bombers will reload from fullback. Chips it in short to Walsh. Walsh doesn't have anything. Really likes it. Been a bit stodgy with the ball movement today. The Bombers, it's not exactly flowing. Certainly in stark contrast to their opponents. That one over the head of Sutton. It's going to come right back in. Jackson will just pump it deep. He had a free man in poke, but the kick did him no favours. It's out of bounds on the full. And Bell Chambers will take over in the back pocket. So, Bell Chambers deep in defence here. Just looks to chip one in short, almost lets in Norton, but it was alright to Tainee Suki. Always had the height advantage there over Gussie Norton. The Bombers fullback, and he just did a spear one out here. It wasn't a great kick though. They've turned it over to Barrow, and then the kick picks out Suki. So they'll reload once more. They'll try and execute the switch. Well, a fortunate kick in the end that landed straight in the breadbasket of Stanley. He got to Sutton. He worked it to Patton. Patton looks up. He's got time and space to assess his options. He chips it into the forward line. And the mark is taken down there by Perkins. Perkins wheeling onto the right. Deep he goes, off hands. Gathered by Big Smith, weaving one way, then gave it back to Walsh, who snaps across his body. They're claiming a touch here. The umpire doesn't agree though, and it's through for the Bombers, third of the afternoon. They cut the lead back to 12 points. A badly needed goal, that one.
Yeah, great snap there from Walsh just around the corner. It was massive last week. Drewy for Lauderdale, 42 touches, 2 goals, and he's going to have to lift here, as well as Siggers in the whole midfield if they're going to get back on this game. But only 2 goals the margin now, so they'll be backing themselves in, and going to be interesting to see if North Hobart will respond like they did in that first quarter.
So, a response from the Bombers. Back to the middle we go. So they somehow worked the ball forward. It wasn't the most convincing, but a couple of missed kicks found targets. Jackson wins the clearance and pumps them deep inside 50. Bellchambers dropping that one, but the umpire will pay him a free kick, and it'll be brought back though. Of course, it wasn't his free kick, it was out of Tyler Martin, so he'll have to take it. Martin just hands it off to McGuinness. Josh McGuinness going to drive this one. Couldn't quite find Liam Gallagher out there. It spills out of play. I reckon McGuinness is one that like a lift from in this quarter. He can be such an influential player, driving the ball out of defence for them. And it's been an area where they've struggled a little so far. We know what a star he is, Josh McGuinness. Siggins and Jackson, putting himself quite well in the ruck today, Jackson, against the competition's premier big man. Unable to get any space here.
Yeah, it's definitely a big day for Jackson, taking on Siggins and Smith. Smith just having a breather down at full forward, but the 2 premier rucks of the competition, it's not an easy task, and he's proved likely so far.
It's going to be a big part of his side's chances today. Norton flicked a handball out straight to the opposition though, and now Sutton looks to send the Bombers forward. He'll drive them in the direction of Perkins. Pitches in front of him. Has time to gather. Push the handball back there to Steinbauer, who drove it inside 50. Blackburn wants a push and he gets it paid. So Stixie Blackburn will surely have eyes only for goal here. Expect him to wheel around. He can be someone who can spark his side. Michael Blackburn, he's a goal kicker. And he's an entertainer.
4 goals last week against Glenorchy. He's going to line up from the Hobart Airport tarmac here. Sticks Blackburn, and it does work for him.
He's certainly got a very set routine. So Stixie Blackburn begins his approach. He's bent it back. Does it have the journey? Not quite. And off hands through for a behind. It had the line. It swung in, but again, the distance not quite there. The margin cut to 11. A decent start to the quarter from the Bombers as they look to work their way back into this contest. The Demons will clear the area. Spencer White just pushed underneath that one. It goes along the line, trying to gather it. It was down them. They flicked it back inside, and now they've got a man on over the top there. Finlay poking some space. He's got another loose. He might go himself, though.
Oh, no.
He did, and he shanked it horribly. Finlay Poke, he kicked a lovely goal in quarter number 1. Not his best work there, however.
No, it was a pretty hefty kick to try and sum that up, to say the least. Kicking for goal, and then it just came off the side of the old Puma shoes.
So McGuinness deep in defence, chipping it short for Ed Stanley. Stanley returns it to McGuinness, and he'll drive them out. Sends it outside defensive 50. Good kick there, and finds William Broomhall in the long sleeves. He goes looking there for Blackburn. Taking the mark at half forward, Stixie Blackburn. He'll send them inside, pattern the target, dropping back though nicely with Stephenson. And he takes the relieving mark. So Callan Stephenson takes it along the outer wing. Finds the target in Dominic White. The Bombers shut down the options in the corridor. They'll be forced to go down the line now. He's looking there for White, couldn't quite bring it down. Wiggins was there. Umpire spots and over the shoulder. It's going the way of Gussie Norton. And Norton assesses his options. Sandra pleading for it, ignores that, and then just thumps it deep, looking for his big men down there. Couldn't find it. Lefebvre bounces off Stanley. We'll have a throw in.
They're looking really good behind the ball. Lauderdale just rebounding again before, but North Hobart able to get the turnover and bring it forward.
So McCulloch in the ruck this time against Smith. There's one down. Sandrick did well not to get in the back and infringe there. And he forces the stoppage, Jack Sandrick. Strong player over the ball. Physical build, Jack Sandrick. Quality player for this Demons outfit. Tossed back up. Handballed away, and then the clearing kick is taken there nicely by Connor Downham. Somehow emerges with that football, and Dominic White tells him to go back and have a shot. So he'll kick from around about 40 out. Not too much angle to speak of. An opportunity to extend the lead here to 17 points.
Again, a bit of tarmac here from the set shotters. Downham
He goes
kicks in
back and he's missed it.
Just to the left.
A good young player though. Certainly one to keep an eye on for the future. This one chip short to McGuinness. McGuinness to Belt Chambers. His handball was shut down. It found its way in the end to Sandrick. Sandrick gave it back to White, back to Sandrick. He chips it forward, pitches just in front of White. He wheels around onto the right, swings it inside 50. White was all on his lonesome, but it couldn't find its way to him, and Martin able to drop back and intercept. Under pressure at the back at the moment here in the Bombers. That one's cleared up the field and finds Broomhall. He chips in looking for Bell Chambers, led in Leafheber. Leafheber flicks a handball up. Sandrick just palms it cleverly. Now Downham, a little bit of candy side by Bingham. But he turns it over there to Walsh. Walsh then caught in turn. It's a hot football at the moment, but taking it away was Gallagher. Gallagher driving it towards Blackburn. The spoil came from behind though, from Young. Wins it back for the Demons. And from half back, they'll chip it up. Floats in there to Jackson. Jackson just held up here, not a whole lot of options presenting themselves. Eventually, he'll send them inside the 50. McCulloch just judged the ball better than his defender, and in the end takes a relatively simple mark. There's the promising youngster, Jack McCulloch.
That was really odd there from the Lauderdale defender. He just kind of moved forward, and don't know if he lost sight of the ball or what happened there, but McCulloch knew what was going on and just had to stick the hands out.
Just read it a lot better than his opponent, so they've had a good little spell here, the Demons. Can they get their 6th of the afternoon to show for it? McCulloch leans back. It's a beautiful kick. It was never in doubt. Straight through the middle and carries the fence to boot. They move along now to 6-3-39, leading Lauderdale 3-3-21. Lovely kick that from a player of considerable promise.
Yeah, great mark again, and one goal already for the stand-in captain while Caldali's out for 2 or 3 weeks, and he's going to have to be massive today, kicking a few snags down there. But he's been promising.
Yeah, he's back to the goal square. So Siggins into the ruck here, up against Jackson. Need the next one, the Bombers. Walsh trying to charge through the contest, does so, but Bingham able to get him from behind. Screwed back into the corridor for Ed Stanley. Stanley chips it to half forward. Using his body pretty nicely there was Patton. He turns now, inside 50, sets it up high to the goal square. Can Smith mark it? He couldn't quite. Off hands, it was kind of dropped. Edmondson lays a good tackle, and eventually it scampers through for a behind. Dangerous moments deep in defence, but just the behind there for the Bombers. The Demons chip short to Sandrick. Sandrick over the top looking for Tyler McGuinness. The rangy figure of McGuinness marks at half back. Sends it long. Over everyone's head, and in the end, the mark taken, and they'll go into the corridor. There was Hilda. He hands it off to Sandrick. He's got Jackson in some space. That's where he heads. Gussie Norton now in plenty of room. Instead, he kicks to a contest. It might spill the way of Norton anyway. He gathers. His fans scream for in the back. Certainly what Norton was looking for, the umpire not having a bar of it. And it will be an out of bounds on the full in the end. As it just deflected off the boot, and then a little bit of back chat, and the umpire says have 50 metres. Well, the descent rule's been in long enough for the players to know better by this point.
What sets that kick up firstly for North Hobart is Jackson spreading from Siggins. He's going to play a lot around the ball, you'd think, and have a spare most of the time, North Hobart.
Stanley hands it off, and then it's sent towards half forward. There was Perkins once more. He's got Ratcliffe over the top if he wants him. Instead, he'll just send it deep and let the big men get to work. Off hands. Spills into the pocket. Ball in dispute. Norton rode the tackle well. Campbell to Bingham. Had a bit of a fumble though. Had time to recover it, but then he turned it back over to Perkins. Just slaps it on the boot. And there were 4 demons there, but the wind gathered it. Took it away. Made life a bit tough and almost caught there. Good tackle laid by Steinbauer. Forces the turnover. Patton didn't catch it. Won't have the distance. And in the end, they spoil it through. Well, it was all rather messy. But in the end, it results in another point there for the Bombers. 6-3-39 to 5-23.
Very scrappy football there, Drewy, in the wind. Didn't help North Hobart there, but they ended up punching it over the line for a kick in a reset.
Yeah, the wind certainly caught that ball. We haven't noticed too much of an impact on the game, the wind to this point, but those last couple of kicks were pretty impacted by it. Suki worked underneath it by McCulloch. He takes the mark on centre wing. And it's a wide open forward line if they want to get it down there quickly. Instead, he'll just prod it short to Gussie Norton. Norton. Chipping it. Couldn't find his intended target in Hilda, and out of bounds for a throw in. Back into play once more. And down. Dropped by Williams. And then off hands for another throw in the forward pocket for the Demons. 16 points their lead. Glorious day for football here at North Hobart Oval. On the home side, rising to the occasion so far. It's been a tough start to the season for them. They wanted to come out with a response, and they've certainly offered it so far. Smith just getting the better of that ruck contest. Walsh flicks the handball back centrally, seized upon by Liefheber. He handed it straight back though to Steinbauer, who just blasted on out of there. Pitches in dispute, who can come away with it. The Demons looking to gather it. Walsh burrowing in. Still they play, and eventually the Demons will take it away. Sutton gives the handball off to Wiggins. Wiggins sends them inside 50. Blackburn brings it down. The distance might be just beyond him though, Stixie. So he does just stand it up. Sammy Siggins in a 1 out. Campbell did pretty well. Got back in there. Might fall though for Patton. Ground level, bouncing off. Wheeled, handball to Perkins. Snapping on the left and missing. Well, he'd already begun celebrating, but it's only a behind.
He's had a few big contests, Matty Campbell, and he stood up to the occasion for North Hobart. He's been absolutely massive down there in the fullback position, and again, just standing up when North Hobart need it.
So it'll be Zach Barrow from fullback. A bit of a let off there. Perkins thought he'd scored the goal. That one just floats over the top. The Demons will take it along the outer wing. The poor kick though lets in Ed Stanley. He forces the turnover, and they'll drive it deep inside 50 once more. Siggins the target, couldn't quite bring it down. Jackson, well, he's kidding himself. He thought that was a mark, clearly off hands, and in the end it'll be a ball up. He wasn't fooling the umpires with that one.
He just stood there, and it was never going to be a mark to him. The big fella, I don't think he was having a bar of that.
He rucks well here though, wins it down though, straight to Patton, turns onto the left, sends it towards goal, contest at the teeth of the goal square. Blackburn, well that'll be a mark. Stixie Blackburn reels it in, and he should go back and cut the margin to 9 points. Just starting to get back into this game here. The Bombers have been better in this quarter. And Blackburn, as per usual.
Bit of a run up here again.
Back a long way. This is very
good
much
to see though. We love it. Yeah, bit of Jetstar tarmac action, but he's looking to bring it back within 9 points. He'll load up. Jet engines going, and he'll slot it home for Lauderdale. So a muchly needed goal that brings it back to 9 points, Drewy.
Gee, he made the goal umpire work. Just snuck it in.
Thought he missed that for a minute.
But he's got the goal, the crucial one there for the Bombers, and they cut the margin back to 9 points. Blackburn getting on the scoreboard. And they have been much better this quarter and starting to make some inroads here after probably wasting a few opportunities. They take one there. 9 points in the margin as we tick towards red time here in quarter number 2. Cracking contest so far. Expecting a good game this afternoon, and that's just what we've had so far. As Smith is into the ruck, he wins this one down. Demons look to take it away though. White flicks the handball to Sandrick. Sandrick gave it across to Young. Young pokes it out in front of Gussie Norton. He's got a man on over the top there, and Wright steadies himself, then sends it towards the goal square. Suki got away with one there. Leafhammer, great defensive spoil there. Save the day. Danger hasn't passed though. Bingham turns in onto the left, squares it up. Wright will fly. McCulloch's there. Couldn't quite bring it in. They call for holding the football. There'll be a ball up at the top of the goal square. Jackson and Smith. Jackson tries to get a shot on goal. Was just slung off his kick. Eventually they'll take it away. Clearing the area's Finn Rackett. He just blasted on out of there. Anywhere will do. And a pretty good result in the end as he clears the defensive 50 and gets the throw in safely away from goal.
Brought it back well here, Lauderdale. They were a few goals down in the first quarter, but bringing it back, Alan Christensen will be really pleased with the fight that's been shown here from his Lauderdale team.
Siggins palms it down. Jackson and Norton both laying the tackle, forcing him across the line. Boat throws it back in. Volleyed again by Jackson. He's gone with that approach a few times and worked it to Leafhammer. Quick hands from Leafhammer were superb, and the flying shot is offline. It would have been a nice goal, that one, for North Hobart. Not to be, just to behind. They're now out by 10 points as Josh McGuinness. Always a lovely kick of the football, Josh McGuinness, and that's a long ball outside to the contest. It'll come back in. Walsh couldn't quite gather. He was taken in a tackle by Norton. Belchambers handballed onto his teammate Boot. Norton, Jackson, they crash in. Walsh trying to break free is Walsh. Umpire eventually calls for it. So 6-4 to 4-6. Accuracy, the difference between the sides at present. Siggins tries to work his way to the front. Umpire spots a block, gives a free kick to Siggins. Starting to exert his influence a little on this contest, Sammy Siggins, and he'll send them to half forward. Spoil came. Doing well to get rid of that one was Perkins. First forced it forward, but now it'll come back to Norton. Norton to White on knees. Made a bit of a mess of that. Was able to recover it to Norton. Spears one off, and Sammy Wright stretching to take a good mark in the middle of the ground.
Great cricketer, Sam Wright.
Well, he showed the slips catch skills there. Well, have him in the cordon for sure with mitts like that.
He's a wicket keeper, so it does help.
Well, there you go. As this one's chipped in short. As they look to build here. Through the middle, Campbell. The Leeds present themselves. Just ignored was Barwick. Goes long, goes a huge fly, not quite brought down there. Wanting it was Tyler Martin, not paid. And the umpire says...
That was a massive foul hanger there, wasn't it? Just leapt.
Would have been some mark had he been able to bring it down. Siggins and Jackson. Jackson wins it down and through traffic there. McGuinness weaving through the traffic and slotting home and extending the Demons' lead to 16 points is Tyler McGuinness.
That really hurts Lauderdale there. Just looking to get the game back on their terms for a bit and try to capitalise on the scoreboard, and another goal happens, but they've been well up to the task, Lauderdale, this quarter. But again, North Hobart just finding a way to push through, and they've been excellent so far. Not a lot of patches, maybe in the kicking as we saw before, but it's hard to think of any real flaws so far for North Hobart.
Yeah, it's been a strong response after a tough opening couple of weeks. Losses to the Tigers and Launceston. They're searching for their first win here. If they keep playing like this, they'll give themselves every chance. Siggins takes it away. Wins the clearance, sent it forward. Oh, sharp work there from Broomhall. Off the foot of Young. Stephenson takes it down the wing, sends it out. Sutton looking to drop back in the space. Ball in dispute, just towed forward in the Leafhaber direction. Couldn't quite gather it. Nicely done at ground level there by Rackett. And climbing on top of it, Sandrick dives in. White was there. Eventually it worked its way to Bellchambers. Couldn't find a target by hand. Scrappy stuff this. Eventually clearing the area is Monks. Plenty of Bombers parked back there. It takes a rather fortuitous bounce for the Demons though. Although not that fortuitous, as the umpire said insufficient intent. And they'll get the ball anyways. They chip it back to McGuinness. He finds Suki. And Suki has a couple out on this near wing. Eventually they should be able to work it there. They'll go looking for Continenza, but it floated over his head and it's picked off there by Monks. Monks to Sandrick centrally. And Sandrick, well, was looking for White. It wasn't a great kick though, and tremendous tackle applied there. Some great pressure being applied by Continenza. A 2-on-1 situation and he forces the stoppage. Right in the ruck, Sandrick on Bellchambers. Two contested beasts going at it there. Siggins up against White. Trying to get free was Franklin, but he was scored across the line by White.
Real scrappy stuff so far on this wing as we see Jacob Evans throw it in, but real contested footy so far in this last 2 or 3 minutes from both teams.
Back into play once more, just pitches in front of the ruckman, trying to get free is Walsh, and did well to get rid of the handball. Got it to Williams, who sends an up and under towards half forward, taking a nice mark in relief was Ryan Edmondson. Kicks it towards half forward, plenty of bodies back there. McCulloch flew from behind. Franklin got it there to Steinbauer in all sorts of trouble. He's been taken there by Leafhaber. Steinbauer just trying to do a little much. And the live wire Leafhaber gets the free kick and he'll have a shot after the siren. And he was about a second away from playing on there, Leafhaber.
I'm not sure.
Siren just went in time for him.
I'm not sure he's got the distance from here, but if he does, it will certainly bring the house down, Drewy.
Come on, Tommy. Unleash the barrel, son. Let's see what you've got here. Leafhaber.
Bit of marmalade from TikTok here, from Leafhaber.
He's an entertainer. Can he find something here from 55? He'll take his best. He never gave it a chance. It ends up well short. And that will be half-time here at North Hobart Oval. Half the hosts will be absolutely delighted with 7-4-46. They lead the Bombers 4-6-30. A 16-point advantage in a game that has ebbed and flowed. It's been a bit of a seesawing contest, but ultimately the Demons, good value for their lead.
They'll definitely be going into this second half full of hunger. Adam Bester will be telling them, probably showing a little bit of vision maybe, just saying, look, we can do this. And it's ridiculous how they've come out here, North Hobart, after last week and the week before. It's just so pleasing to see from a North Hobart football club standpoint. So he'll be going into this quarter really enthusiastic. And Alan Christensen, well, he's got a few holes he's got to fix up going inside 50, but they're definitely not out of the hunt, Lauderdale.
Well, certainly not. They're looking for a response in the second half, and they're trying to let some firepower that can cause some problems at the other end. Far from out of this one, the Bombers, but work to do. Half time, it is 7-4-46 North Hobart. Lauderdale 4-6-30. You've got the goal scorers for us there, both.
Yeah, we've got Patton with one for Lauderdale, Blackburn, Perkins, and Walsh is the other goal scorer as well, I believe, with all one apiece. And then for North Hobart, we've also got one apiece. Jack McCulloch, the captain, with one. White with one. We've got Jackson McGuinness, Holder. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Holder, but Poke as well. So we'll be looking to get a few more maximum goal scorers here.
There you go, 11 different goal scorers for the 11 goals at half-time here. The Demons holding sway by 16 points. We'll be back in around about a quarter of an hour's time with the second half. Don't go anywhere. An intriguing game in store here at North Hobart Oak. So we're back for the second half here at North Hobart Oval. It is the home side holding sway by 16 points. As we head into the third term. Very good in that first half. They can keep it going by Downham.
Well, they need to keep it going, North Hobart, put the foot on the gas and kill this game, but Lauderdale equally need to put their foot on the gas and try and conjure up a few goals to install the belief, but they're certainly not out of it yet.
Siggins and Jackson in the ruck as we start the third quarter here, and it was tapped down nicely to Franklin. Turns and screws a kick out of the contest. Stephenson off his hands. It lands into the path of White. Swept it to Jackson. Put his teammate under trouble, but somehow Bingham just bounced off the tackle of Franklin. Bellchambers then worked off it by Edmondson. Gussie Norton trying to interject. Can anyone take clean possession? They can. It's Sutton. He sends them deep in the Smith direction. Couldn't quite complete the mark, but he'll get the free kick as Campbell infringed him. And Big Smith will go back to try and give the Bombers the perfect start.
Quick out of the middle again there from Lauderdale. It didn't look great, but it certainly did the job just to get it forward to the big man in Smith, who needs to have a big second half here. He's been outworked so far from North Hobart, and equally Matt Campbell's been brilliant for them, so he hasn't had an easy matchup by any stretch, but this goal to just install some belief in Lauderdale's game plan as he runs in. Long legs. Hits the post.
Well, there from Big Hayden Smith. Nice ball from Sutton just to put it out in front of him and take Campbell out of the equation as they entered, but are behind only for the Bombers. The Demons will reload from full back. Stephenson clearing the area up to a contest and half forward. And it's taken away by Lefebvre. He's looking up there for White, but a tough one for the big man to bend over and try and get to. Out of bounds on the full in the end side. Poor kick from Lefebvre. Siggins on in the middle. Overcooked it and missed him. Now it's going to be in dispute in the middle of the ground. Flicked it over. Turned it over again though. This time the other way. Right. Spinning through. And he's held up. There'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground.
You can just see a little bit of intensity there from North Hobart, but Lauderdale had the right idea trying to get it back into the corridor, but just didn't work out.
Siggins won the palm down and he'll get the clearance as well. Sends it towards half forward. Just bumped off it there was Patton. The Demons try and take it away, but they'll cough it up, and now a chance for Walsh, but he's mown down from behind. Gussie Norton gets him, holding the football, and Norton will take over at half back. Doesn't see anything immediately presenting itself. So he'll be forced to kick to a contest. Lefebvre the target. It spills out the back off the hands. Sam Wright first to the fall of the ball. Sends him inside 50. Couldn't find Finlay Poke. And that one will just roll out off Tony Suki for a throw in deep inside the forward 50. All the Demons. 15 points their lead. They'd love the first goal here in the third quarter. Take the lead beyond 20. It'll be McCulloch in the ruck up against Siggins. Siggins worked his way to the front, palmed it down, but it's seized upon by Finlay Poke, and Finlay Poke kicks a wonderful goal for the Demons. They do get the first of the third quarter, and they extend their lead out to 21 points.
The first multiple goal scorer for this afternoon for the Demons and Lauderdale, mind you, but Finlay Poke just a nice little snap around the corner there, out of trouble, and another goal for the Demons. So they've piled on here in this, they've added on to their first half score, out to 21 points. And again, Lauderdale just looking like a little bit slow to move there.
Yes, certainly the hunger's there from the Demons today, and they get the perfect start to the quarter there. Big goal from Finlay Poke, who's looked dangerous inside the forward 50 today. Siggins, knocked down to Bellchambers, flicked it back to Siggins. Siggins on the corner, but it'll be chopped off back there. The intercept taken by Stephenson. So Stephenson sends it down the line. Siggins just dropping back into the space, but dropped one he should have taken. Bingham angling his body trying to draw the high contact. And he's held up. There'll be a stoppage there. Siggins frustrated dropping that one. A mistake you normally see for a player of his ilk. You win this clearance away though. And Stephenson just put the foot in the back to protect the space there. Now Zach Barrow. Well, not good ball use there from Barrow. Just kicks it straight out of bounds on the full, under no real pressure to speak of. Tom Ratcliffe at half back. Nothing he liked ahead of him, so he retreats back to McGuinness. And he chips it short for Williams. Williams back out to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe had his kick intercepted as the hand went up from Barrow. And out of play for a throw in. So that seems just a little sloppy in possession here to start the third quarter. A few errors by foot creeping in as Siggins wins this one down. Ratcliffe coming through. Stanley just handed it to his opposite number there in Stephenson. He gave it to White. White will put it out there in front of Hilda. He's under a little bit of pressure from behind by Gridley. In the end, umpire will call for a throw in. So 21 points the margin. The Bombers in need of the next goal here. Otherwise that lead would start to get a little unmanageable here. Siggins up against Jackson. Siggins wins it down. Stanley first to it. Leafhammer takes him down. And then fell to Gussie Norton. Norton round the corner. Couldn't quite find White. Pitches. Stays in place somehow. McCulloch flicks it back to White. To the top of the square. And over the head from Downham. And they've got another one, the Demons. Downham finishes it off. Somehow that ball didn't go out of play. And they keep the ball in motion. Work it to Downham. And they've kicked away now to a 27-point lead.
It wasn't pretty stuff by any stretch, with the big man in the goal square getting a little fingernail on it. But again, North Hobart just proving to, I guess, overrun the Lauderdale Bombers. And unfortunately for them, it's a 27-point lead now for North Hobart. So Lauderdale are going to have to fight back here. But I'm just not sure where they're going to get it. Bryce Walsh needs to stand up. Siggins has been impactful thus far, but they need to stand up in the midfield.
So he's up against White in the ruck this time. Siggins past. They'll try and get a clearance here. Patton besieged there by Bingham. He's out of the middle. The Bombers need a bit of a lift here. Siggins is trying to do it all for his side. He wins another clearance here. He sends it deep. Couldn't find a target though, but sweeping on top of it was Perkins. He dished the handball. Walsh coming through, snaps it and hooks it. That's another missed opportunity there. 4-8-32 Lauderdale, and there's been some pretty gettable shots in amongst them. As this one's just chipped short to Bradley Young in the back pocket. Young goes further afield. Stephenson taking the mark. There's Jaunty Barwick offering. He ignores that. Barwick goes again. Eventually he does go there. Barwick has White offering a searching lead. Instead just kicks to a contest. McCulloch's going to try and fly, but Siggins read the kick well and dropped into the space to intercept. So nothing he likes, so retreats back to Suki. Suki spears a short one to Josh McGuinness. McGuinness sells a little candy to Jackson and then switches up. And go along the far side. Sutton, the next link in the chain. Felton ends up over the top. He'll go back into the corridor for Stanley. That was a risky kick, invited in Sam Wright. And they force the stoppage, and they've just made poor decisions by foot. And well, not even the decisions, but just been poor execution, perhaps more so by foot. Lauderdale, it's all well and good to try and play this tempo footy, but just butchering it a little, and they've been their own worst enemy at times. Walsh lays a tackle on Norton, flicked up out of there by Siggins, and now perhaps they can get to work as Liam Gallagher sends them inside the forward 50. Offhand, Stephenson with a fumble. That invites some trouble. Broomhall gave the handball across. And Stixie Blackburn was celebrating the moment it left his boot. He sent a kiss to the crowd. They kick a goal, but the moment that left his boot, it was nowhere near the goal line. It was wheeling away in celebration. He just knew Stixie Blackburn. He's an entertainer, and he gets a vital goal there for the Bombers.
Loves the celebration, the sticks. He's got 2 goals now so far, coming off 4 last week. So he's going to be a big part for this Lauderdale game plan to put some pressure back onto the scoreboard for North Hobart. Let's see how they respond, Lauderdale. If they can get another goal here, belief will certainly start to build.
They needed that one. They're starting to become unmanageable. Can Blackburn be the fire starter for them? Smith won it down, and now Bellchambers takes away. He'll drive them deep inside 50. Great mark taken back there by Campbell. Beating Perkins in the one-on-one. That was strong. He had to be. As the Bombers threatened to kick 2 in the space of 30 seconds.
He's been enormous today, Campbell, and it'll be a 50.
Patton just encroaching on the mark. That is a coach killer there. Well, Christensen won't be happy with that. Just as you're starting to try and build something and get back into the game, to just give him a free exit like that, that's the type of stuff that would drive you wild. So Hilda, short to Liefeber. Liefeber sends it wide, turned it over, gave it straight there to Gridley. He goes over the top to Gallagher. Gallagher's got a wide open 50. It's Jeremiah Perkins. On the arc of 50, nothing in front of him. The lead now comes, and he chips the shot for Broomhall.
Yeah, get out of jail free card there for Lauderdale with that free kick with Patton. Just being able to turn the ball over. It wasn't a great kick, it must be said there, from North Hobart, as Broomhall line up for his first of the afternoon, just to install a little bit of belief to get back-to-back goals, which I don't think they've done for a while here, Lauderdale.
Broomhall sets sail for home, but he's pulled it to the near side. A minor score only, 5-9-39. North Hobart 9-4-58. So they've had more scoring shots than the Demons today, but they find themselves 19 points in arrears. They'll charge out of defence here. Chipped up in the right direction. Sam Wright with a safe pair of hands. He chips short to Bingham. Bingham is hitting the deck there. Under pressure from Blackburn. He retreats.
He's not looking good, Bingham.
Oh, he's looking very proppy, isn't he, after that? And there's Tyler McGuinness. Him hobbling off, looking in all sorts of trouble. As the Demons chip the ball around the defence here, just creeping on Jack Sandrick, so he's in plenty of space on the near wing. Jackson just dropping back in front of him, and Sandrick now able to get free out the back of the contest. He storms forward in towards 50, and it's a poor kick. He had McCulloch leading out, but he turned the ball over. Sammy Siggins at half-back.
You'd be impressed if you're Adam Bester just with how quick that ball movement was going inside 50. He didn't really give Lauderdale a chance until that defender had to come off his man, as we see a fumble.
White invites some danger here. They win it back. White flicks it inside to Liefeber. He closes to 50. Thomas Liefeber. He hangs it out to the left. A minor score for the Demons.
They haven't put them away yet, the Ds. Had a few opportunities, but been pretty accurate. 9 goals, 5.
Williams takes it at half-back. Punches a short one. He finds Finn Rackett in the middle of the ground. He wheels off to his right, and he's caught in a tackle by Ryan Edmondson. He was oblivious to the presence of Edmondson and ran blind into him. Caught cold, holding the football there. Edmondson wheels, sends it deep. McCulloch on the lead. Couldn't quite bring it down. Ball hits the deck, handballed out. Silky slams it on the boot. He's clearing kick, though, straight down the throat of Spencer White, who's sent to the deck after. That could be 50. Umpire gives Bellchambers the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, he's lucky there, Bellchambers. It was always going to be a mark. I don't know why he took him to ground and the umpire just missing that, but White, I reckon he just sends it to the top of the square. I'm not sure he has the distance in him, but obviously playing with St Kilda, he might have the distance. Wait and see.
In the left foot, he's given it a ride. It'll go right to the goal line. He almost had the distance. He needed just a metre more. off hands for a minor score. He's got a lovely kicking action though, doesn't he?
It was like an NFL punt, that. It was a brilliant kicking action. Obviously, he would have been taught that at his AFL days, but like you said, just brilliant.
Lovely contact with the ball as they shift this one wide into the back pocket for Josh Williams. Williams again opts to retreat, and they'll try and chip it short to Ed Stanley and execute the switch. They do now. Steinbauer in the back pocket. With the left foot, he punches one up in the Broomhall direction. Coming over the top of him was Hasty, and he puts it out of play. They've just done a pretty good job shutting down that switch for so much of the afternoon that the Bombers have tried to execute. They've had a tough time transitioning from defence to attack. Credit to North Hobart. They'll work off the ball for that. So Smith up against Jackson. Smith commandingly over the top, and then he bends down and wins it and gives the handball to Walsh, and they're off through the middle now. They drive it forward in search of Broomhall. Couldn't quite bring it down. Edmondson with hands to the football. Not a convincing handball. Invited danger. Sliding in there was Broomhall, and that'll be contact below the knees. And a free kick going the way of North Hobart. Just a little overzealous with his attack on the football there. And Edmondson can clear defensive 50. And Ruckman compete. Falls out the back for White. Couldn't quite gather inside the field of play. He steps out for a throw in. 9-6-60. North Hobart leading Lauderdale 5-9-39. A 21-point buffer. Halfway point of the third term. The home side. Their intent was set out from early on here. They brought the intensity. And they'll be happy with the current scoreline. Norton scoops it out. White's in there. Eventually it'll be taken away by the Demons. Back to Sandrick. Balked and then slammed it on the boot. Sends them inside 50. Looking for Jackson down there. Couldn't quite bring it in. Tackle laid by McGuinness. Trying to clear the area was Continenza. He's kicked straight into the opposition and deflects out for a throw in.
Full time at the Twins, Drewy, 134-15 in their ANZAC Day clash. So Glenorchy just going back to old habits, but certainly a lot to improve on, but that's not a great looking scoreline.
They were shellacking over there as White competes in the ruck against Smith. Back to ground level, and the umpire calls for it. Another goal here for the Demons. Extend the lead up to 27 points. It would be tough work from there for the Bombers, as this one's one down. A clear defensive 50 through Continenza, but a throw's been spotted by the umpire, so an opportunity for Dominic White. He's tight to the boundary side here as Cassie Norton comes in, just trying to provoke a little response that might have given a 50-metre penalty and made an easier kick. Shrewd stuff, but not falling for it. So White from tight to the boundary line. He screws it across the face. Jackson almost brought it down. Handball back into Sam Wright. He's claimed by McGuinness. And it was an important tackle from McGuinness, a goal-saving one. And Sam Wright threatened to drive that one through. Umpire throws it back up. Important contest this. Flashing through was McLeod. Wouldn't quite come to a stop in time, but it'll be thrown in. Deep inside forward 50. The Demons probing here. Try and find another goal that would really make it tough for the Bombers. Back into play once more. Smith palmed it down. Again, strong tackle laid. And a repeat stoppage inside forward 50. Walsh is the man launching himself into that tackle. He's fought hard in the engine room this afternoon, Walsh. Smith up against McCulloch. McGuinness just buffered it off the ball. Rinse and repeat. Space at a premium here at the moment. Umpire throws it back up once more. Smith gets the better of the ruck contest. McGuinness forced over the line and another throw in.
Jacob Evans will be getting a few muscles, I reckon, with these repeat stoppages. His arm might start to hurt. He's a professional, but need to make something of these stoppages, North Hobart.
Seen a few periods today when the ball's just been locked inside forward 50 for repeat stoppages. Smith against McCulloch. Again, Smith commandingly down, but again can't clear the area. Anyone get clean possession? They can't. All these ruck taps just going straight down into that sea of bodies, proving very tough to get any separation here. Smith again wins it down, and again straight to a player who's immediately locked up. Nice Walsh. Maybe some elevated tackle numbers on the stat sheet at the end of this contest, I reckon. So Smith and McCulloch once more. Smith again won it down. Suki this time gets a clear and kick. Blackburn applies some pressure from behind. Siggins approaches up. Leafhammer seizes on the ball. He flicks it forward. Worked out, and eventually they should clear the area. Sutton's got 3 to beat. Did pretty well in the end. Spilt out the back to Perkins. He's locked up, but no, Campbell able to get it out of there. Worked it to Leafhammer. Leafhammer will stand it up to the teeth of goal. Plenty of Bombers players back there. But it fell off feet, and snapping on goal and kicking truly is McLeod. Well, they seemingly had the numbers there, the Bombers, but they didn't deal with it. It fell to McLeod. He kicks the Demons 10th. They're out by 27 points.
Great kick there from North Hobart. 27 points he just mentioned, and this game's starting to really open up here for the Bombers. They need to do something, just a goal or even just a little bit of stoppage play in their 50 to give them a little bit of time to capitalise, and it's just starting to branch out here.
Yeah, starting to really become a concern here for Lauderdale. 27 points the margin. This game quickly slipping away. The Demons playing some inspired football here this afternoon. McLeod with a great snap on goal. A tremendous energy about them all day. There's a little 666 infringement. There's just a warning though against North Hobart on that occasion. So one down by Jackson to Sandrick. Back to Jackson. Tried to get it clear and kick forward. Couldn't do so. They all climb on top and we'll have another stoppage in the middle of the ground. 27 points. A decisive break. Bombers in dire need of a response. Bryce Walsh with a tackle. Sandrick on the bottom of that pack. Into red time in the third term. 5 goals in arrears, that's all they've kicked all day. As Siggins sweeps the handball to Walsh. Walsh back, but couldn't quite control it there. Stanley's under pressure. He was having his jumper pulled though. Just told to go back there is Ed Stanley. So he looks up, he's got a searching lead from Martin, but put it straight over his head, and Monks able to intercept. Their ball use has been really poor today, the Bombers. And now Monks will send them deep in the McCullough direction. Couldn't quite bring that one down. Handball out, trying to find Hilda. And now a play for a throw in once more.
I'm not sure what it is with the Bombers today, but on a few occasions I've just misread where the ball's going to land. Like on that occasion there, he just overran and allowed a mark, and it's happened a few times, even inside 50, so they need to work on that, where the ball's going to land to mark it.
Siggins and McCulloch. McCulloch tapped it down. Siggins dished the handball out. There was Rackett. He's caught. Oh, going nowhere. Fierce tackle aid by Spencer White. The tackling intensity from the Demons has shone through from the opening exchanges, and it has not let up. Bombers try and clear the area here, blasted out of there, but it might come right back at them. Palmed into the path of Dominic White. Sutton comes in over the top of him. Handball flick to Sandrick. Sandrick gives it back. A flying shot on goal from Young. But he's offline. And up to 28 points now, the lead. Into the play at this end of the ground. The Bombers are really up against it here. McGuinness chips it in short for Rackett. There's just no tempo or speed in their ball movement trying to exit the defence here. It's all very stagnant.
Oh, no.
That is a horrendous kick straight to Zach Barrow. Again, their foot skills letting them down. Barrow's just going to pump it right back in there. Leafhammer off hands. A chance perhaps here though for the Demons.
Oh.
And stepping over his head is Bingham for another goal for the Demons. They're out by 34 points. It's looking like their day. They're 11-7-73. Lauderdale 5-9-39. They're in all sorts here, the Bombers. They are butchering the ball out of the defence, and the Demons are making them pay for
That
it.
was just miraculous. We've seen a few good goals this weekend, especially on Saturday, but that goal from Bingham there is just remarkable. He might have hurt his buttocks there landing, but that was a ridiculous goal with some skill on it. And again, Lauderdale, you see a 50, well not a 50, sorry, a turnover going back into their 50, and it never helps. And I'm sure Alan Christensen is probably a little bit hot-headed down on the bench at the moment, where I think he's coaching from, and moves out to another big point lead.
Siggins wins the clearance, sends it forward in the Blackburn direction. Couldn't quite reel it in. A chance though. Bell Chambers, handball out there to Williams. Williams with a flying shot and touched on the line. Again, Matty Campbell's had a magnificent game back there, and once again he saves the day playing goalkeeper. I reckon there's been 4 that have been touched on the line today. And several shots that have pulled up just short. That was one they badly needed there, the Bombers. It's all going the Demons' way at the moment. Through the hands of Leafheber. Stanley pumps them back in. A chance perhaps here as Sutton marks tight to the line. It would take a spectacular kick from here.
He's had 2 big matchups today, Matt Campbell on Siggins and Smith, and he's definitely performed.
So Sutton sends a goal across the face. Jackson parked back there, takes a towering mark. Juggles it nicely, does the big ruck. And he flicks the handball out behind, and they'll clear defensive 50. Lead there was Hilda, taken away from him. They'll play for a throw in. So we've ticked past 26 minutes now in this term. Norton takes this one short. They've got to find something late in the quarter if there to be any chance in the last, the Bombers, and that's not going to help their cause. Another encroachment on the mark. Just ill discipline creeping in now. Gussie Norton will be advanced 50 metres. Norton sends it wide, has a man in some space out there. Wheeling off with it is Jonty Barwick in the Leafheber direction. And he brings down another one. And Thomas Leafheber can extend the lead to 39 points if he kicks truly. This would just about be curtains if it isn't already. Lauderdale at 6s and 7s right now. And Thomas Leafheber could really drive a dagger in here. He'll kick from around about 25 out. Slight angle. He misses, lets them off the hook at 34 points. And we're really reeling right now with the Bombers. Bell Chambers takes the mark. They've had very few clean exits out of defensive 50. Can they get one here? They do by hand. They flick it over the top, but they've run into trouble now. And again, it's just fumbling. It's just foot skill errors off half back. Rinse and repeat. And they have been all over them, have the Demons. Relentless with the pressure, forcing these turnovers. Norton flies in. Handball out. Dominic White will come away with it. He dances through traffic, sends them forward. Finlay poke! Brings down a spectacular mark. And says, I'll go back and have the shot. Well, he's been impressive inside that forward 50 this afternoon. Finlay Poke, he has 2 for his 3rd here to double the Bombers' score if he kicks truly. And he'll kick after the siren. And this could just about kill the game.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Stretch it out to 40 points. Poke can't leave his line, but I reckon he backs himself in here. After the siren, Finlay Poke. Monstrous kick. Shape's right.
So couldn't quite kill them off, but they might have done enough anyway. They lead by 35 points at three-quarter time. 11-9-75 the Demons. 5-10-40 Lauderdale. A dominant quarter from the Demons. They're out by 35 points. And it would take something stunning here for the Bombers The Demons, they are running rampant by down.
I think we could see an old-fashioned spray here from Alan Christensen as he brings him in. But, yeah, look, North Hobart are just absolutely thumping the Bombers right now. I'm not sure how they can impact as turn our attention to Alan Christensen down there. I'm not sure if people can see that, but looks like he's brung him in tightly, and they're not out of the game yet, but certainly going to be a long stretch to get back in it, Drewy.
Yeah, they're going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat in the final quarter here and do something pretty amazing because they look lost right now. The Demons in complete control at three-quarter time. 11-9-75. They lead the Bombers 5-10-40. We'll be back in a few minutes here for the final term. And it's what is threatening to be a very, very big victory for the Demons. They're on fire here. They're a quarter away from finishing the job. Don't go away. We'll be back shortly. So we're back for the final term here at North Hobart Oval. It is the host firmly in the ascendancy, 35 points to the good. The Bombers are going to need something special to come back from here. We've just got the mail from our cameraman Macca. Ed Stanley's going forward, Patton's going back. He still believes they can win it. But fair to say they're going to need an improved showing in this final term, Bo.
Well, I was going to say that to try and improve my status amongst the commentators here and just say they should drop Patton back. But no, they need a hero at the moment, Lauderdale, to get them back in this. And Patton going back, I'm not sure he's going to be a hero, but you never see. It might not be your day, but it can be your moment, and that's what Lauderdale need to think of right now as Jackson hits it out of the ruck.
So we're underway in the final term here at North Hobart. The Bombers with no real margin for error. It's been an inspired Demons outfit standing in their way this afternoon. They're certainly going to need to improve by foot if there any chance. Sandrick takes it. Walsh has him. They're locked in, and they'll be the ball up in the middle of the ground. First goal, of course, goes without saying, crucial. The Bombers simply must get it. So in dispute here, slammed on the boot and sent forwards. Now will it bounce to, fortuitously for the Bombers, but unable to trap it was Edmondson. He's a tackle there though, and holding the ball, the decision. So free kick going the way of Ryan Edmondson. And he just chips it out to Dominic White. White gnaws a couple of leads and just kicks further afield instead. You go looking there for White, just worked underneath the ball. Intercept mark taken back there. Let's see if there's any more dare about the Bombers here. They might need to just start moving it through the corridor a little more, you'd imagine. They try and do that, but it wasn't a great kick, but it was dropped by Edmondson. That might invite some danger. The handball back to Smith. Smith just finessing one towards Blackburn, but he turned it straight over to Stephenson. It's been the area of the game that just keeps letting him down, and the Demons round the outside through right. Leafheber on over the top. Ignores that and just chips a little short one. Now Leafheber will get it. 70 from goal. He wheels onto the right. He pumps them deep inside 50. Searching for McCulloch, but dropping back into the space, and marking was Martin. He takes the relieving mark. Martin. Dicey looking kick to Suki. Just found him. Taney Suki deep in defence. He drives a low one to McGuinness. McGuinness just held onto a little by Norton. There we go. By hand and through the corridor they go as they must. Dixie Blackburn with the mark. Gave it to Walsh. His handball, a poor one for Siggins. Sandrick looking to block him off. Siggins kept on going. Sandrick emerges with the football. They sweep the handball to Stephenson. Stephenson out the back for Hasty. Hasty looking for Leafhaver. Had to sit under it, and Smith was arriving. Punched it clear. Met firmly was Williams. And a stoppage and half forward for the Bombers here. 35 points down, needing the first goal.
I'll chuck you under the bus here. Who have you got for the ANZAC Day medal, Joey?
Oh, give me a couple of minutes to think on that one. There's a few that'll be bobbing their head up for the Demons, I think, as this one's well taken back there by Edmondson. This one chipped in a little short. Now they just work it across to a man who would be in that conversation in Campbell for sure, as he goes one way, then the other, and then just puts it on the boot. White up against Sutton, and it just dropped into the path of Sutton, and he takes the mark. He'll take a good kick from here, but he needs to find a way to slide this one through the big sticks. Gussie Norton, wow. You don't want to go giving away 50 when they are right on. Smith is just trying to goad him into doing something, and he's just almost given the umpire two reasons to give 50 there. In the end, nothing doing. Sutton wheels off to his right, sets sail from 50, but he pulled it, and he pulled it near side, behind only, and cuts the margin to 34. 5 goals, 11 now, the Bombers.
Yeah, it's proving difficult to score here. They needed to take the opportunity there, as you see, a long kick out, but they needed to just get a goal there to install some belief, and Alan Christensen would have gave him a message, as that's a crunching tackle on the wing.
It'll be a ball up as they try and keep them hemmed in here, the Bombers. The lights coming on now as the evening approaches. It's been perfect conditions for football here this afternoon at North Hobart Oval. Scooped forward, right. Ball flies out the back. Right. Stretching was Continenza, and he just takes it inside the confines of the field. Centering ball for Bellchambers. Almost led Leafeber. Well done, Bellchambers. Got to Siggins. He goes looking for Blackburn. Casting the role of defender in the end, off hands. And they work it to Norton. Norton with a punching little kick straight to Steinbauer. Benjamin Steinbauer here. He'll chip it across for McGuinness. Usually a good user by foot, McGuinness. Shifts it across to Sutton. Sutton wheels back inside. His handball over the top. McGuinness from a standing start is drifting across the face. Siggins! Couldn't quite bring it down. Stanley now applying the pressure, but the Demons will clear the areas. That's slapped on out of there. Leafever the target. Smith spoils it away from him. And out of play for a throw in.
Just letting the ball out of their 50 a bit too easily there, Lauderdale. They need to lock that in and create a stoppage to try and get the small forwards working in the engine room, and it's just proving difficult as North Hobart are taking everything away from them and just rebounding off the half back.
Smith palms it down. Handball to Bellchambers. Bellchambers storming inside 50. Sets sail, and again it's a miss.
Yeah.
5 goals, 12. If there are any chance, you'd figure they need a goal early. They've just wasted a couple of opportunities. They could ill afford to do so. As this one should be chopped off by McGuinness, and is. McGuinness short for Walsh. Walsh, I thought, played on. Yes, the umpire calls him. That might not be 15. It just is. Bellchambers from the arc of 50. And he says, I'm going to go back and have a shot. Suki was riding across trying to get the palm off. But it's going to be up to Philip Bellchambers. It'll take his best. He gives it a ride, but sacrifices the accuracy, and plucking it in the pocket is Siggins, I think. No, it was out of bounds on the full. Just drifted across. And it'll be the Demons to take over in the back pocket. The Bombers doing all the attacking, but they haven't got a goal to show for it. They've kicked 5 all afternoon. They're going to need 6. Ball in disputed half forward. Crashing tackle there from Norton. And another ball up.
Just haven't been able to capitalise when they go inside 50, Drew. It's probably the simplest way you can put it for Lauderdale, as we see a throw in.
That one. We tossed it back into play here. Smith doing the rucking for the Bombers. Siggins sent into the forward 50 for the most part here in this final term. So try and find an avenue to goal. The Demons with the clearance out the back. McGuinness situated back there. Handball across to Martin. Oh, lost control of it. Inviting danger. They seize on the turnover. McCulloch faked the handball, then dished it off. Little chip forwards. Pitches into dispute, gathered by McLeod. McLeod to McCulloch. McCulloch to drive the dagger home. Oh, falling out of mid-air, but it was off targets. That would have been goal of the year from Sam Wright. Some Zlatan Ibrahimovic stuff on the goal line, but he couldn't quite direct it. That would have been goal of the year sewn up, I reckon.
Man, that was promising that.
So it's transitioned all the way back the other end here. Can the Bombers get themselves a goal? Trying to keep it in was Perkins. Gave the handball back, and then a dump tackle there, and the umpire spots
it's going to go on here.
And it sparks a furious response too. I think it was Stanley who did it, but that has drawn a furious response from the Demons. A little unnecessary, I think, and they're not happy. They're in to fly the flag.
Drew, I just want to touch on Matt Campbell. His day has been absolutely enormous. He's done everything right. He's had a big match-up, and he's just been a stalwart down back there, a workhorse, if you like. He's been amazing.
He has, as this one's chipped across the face to Nicholas Jackson. Jackson has a man on in some space in Downham. Connor Downham at half-back, in no rush to move the ball here. Running clock suits them just fine. He'll kick now to a contest. Lee Fiber with the fly, couldn't quite. It spills out the back, just cleverly socked forward there by Poke. Sutton couldn't quite gather it. Lee Fiber in again. He flicks the handball to Bingham. He slung in a tackle, just released in time. Picked up by Lee Fiber. He got it to Norton. Patton slams the door shut with a tackle, and they hold them up inside defensive 50.
It's been the story of the afternoon, really, Drewy, hasn't it? How Lauderdale have just been too easy outside of 50.
Smith wins it down. Another stoppage forced here.
Sorry, I mean, like transitioning out for North Hobart, just letting the ball out too easily, not really putting too much pressure.
One down by Smith. He's pile in, flicked over the top to Williams. Williams arches the back, weaves one way, then handballs that he's run out of play though. And there'll be a throw in. It's at the wrong end of the field as far as the Bombers are concerned though. 34 points down. We've ticked past 10 minutes in the final term. Game looking well within the Demons' keeping here. It'll be thrown back into play once more. McCulloch in the ruck up against Smith. McCulloch won that one down. Just once more scored it over the line. Smith and McCulloch resume their duel. McCulloch works to the front. Smith palmed it down. Strong tackle laid by Martin. Going nowhere, but precious seconds continue to tick by. Smith works his ruckman under it. Cleared by McGuinness. Williams out after this one, and seeing him out of play, that was a little bit nasty. Unnecessary, maybe a little bit of revenge for the one up the other end perhaps. This one equally leads to a free kick. The Bulls will take over at half back. They've got to get the ball moving though, as this one is chipped back to Steinbauer. And stagnant is not what they need. They need to get the ball moving. Steinbauer will try and drive it out of defence. It's going to be a tough one for Sutton. He's got two giants up against him. White's handball intercepted though by Patton, and he'll wheel off now. Turning to the wing. Chips it forward. Again, it's a poor kick though. Straight to Bradley Young. Young sweeps the handball inside to McGuinness. McGuinness drives them inside 50. McCulloch from behind. Couldn't quite bring it in. Checkside little kick finds Patton at half back. He looks inside the corridor and again makes a kneel the kick. Fortunately for them, landed into the palm though of Smith, and they chip it over and they're out the back here are the Bombers. They kick it inside forward 50, and there's Stanley who takes the mark. He's been swung forward.
It's the first time that we've actually seen Lauderdale go quickly through that and that kick come off inside 50 to Stanley. It's the first time we've actually seen that come off for Lauderdale and their ball movement. North Hobart have just been all over them when it's that kick inside 50.
Yeah, they've missed the kick time and time again. Finally executed one. Here's Ed Stanley from 45 out, and he continues the trend of missing opportunities. 5 goals, 13 now, the Bombers. 33 points down. The Demons probably got this game won. Just not been in a situation where they could afford to miss these chances in the final term. Had to be perfect. Had 3 opportunities and burned them all. And this one's chipped short to Downham. Downham, he's got Sam Wright on over the top. Instead we'll go looking for Edmondson. That invited in Blackburn, spoiled from behind, but regathering it was Downham. Combining nicely there with Wright, and then sends it to a one-on-one. McCulloch and Suki. McCulloch beaten by Suki. Well done there by the Bombers defender. And the contest well. He dishes the handball. He's now in some pain.
He's clutching at the knee.
Barwick climbing in over the top. So
they're not sprinting out there, the Lauderdale trainers.
It was Martin rather than Suki, and yeah, he is hobbling, so they're going to be exposed if the Demons can win a quick clearance here, and they do just that, and there's Finlay Poke. He must have been touched off the boot. No mark paid. If it's definitely 15, so there must have been a little touch in the contest there.
He needs to get out there quickly, the trainer. He's a man down.
Hobbled at the moment is Tyler Martin, so they're a player short as on the bottom of the pack is Barwick, going nowhere though. Smith with the argy-bargy. Thrown up, Jackson up against Smith. Smith reaches over the top. Handball from Bell Chambers. Under pressure though, it was Gridley. Siggins somehow gets a handball out, but it's going to come straight back in deep. And McCulloch couldn't quite bring it down. Jackson, free kick for over the shoulder, has been spotted. It's going the way of the Demons, as today in general has an opportunity to put the cherry on top here.
Yeah, I reckon day done. I reckon for Lauderdale, if they can slot this North Hobart. McCulloch has been astronomical today, Drewy, and it's shown just with how North Hobart have been playing as he strides in to put the final nail in the coffin. McCulloch gets the goal, and North Hobart have probably sealed this one, Drewy, in a great style of play by Adam Bester, and they're improving by the week, Drewy.
Never in doubt there from Jack McCulloch, slotting through their 12th of the afternoon. And they out by 39 points. I think the result already will be on doubt before that, but they get the goal here in the final term just to further extend the lead. They've been fantastic today, the Demons. Good value for this win. Lauderdale, it's been a dirty day. They've let themselves down with both their field kicking and goal kicking. They've had their moments, but just the execution hasn't been there by foot this afternoon. So 39 points. As this one's one down by Smith. Siggins on the ball going nowhere. There'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground. Smith and Jackson. Siggins. Sutton couldn't gather it. Sandrick with a clever little handball to McGuinness. Flicked it over the top. Deep they go. McCulloch again. Couldn't quite bring that one down. As Josh McGuinness with hands was nice. Got it there to Ratcliffe. By hand they work it out through Suki, and now along the outer wing. They'll send it forwards. Blackburn trying to bring down a hanger. Couldn't quite do so. Fell into the path of Wiggins. Walking one way and then a handball to the outside from Williams. Smashed with a high up and under. Campbell coming across. He kills the contest only so far as Blackburn. How will this bounce? Fortuitously for Ed Stanley as it works out. Couldn't quite gather the football. Defender careful not to get in his back. Holds him up, and there'll be a ball up deep inside the forward 50. 39 points. What a performance this has been. They were fired up from the outset. Siggins takes it and can't quite get the distance on the kick. Picked off on the goal line again. The story of their afternoon in many respects. It was about the sixth time one's been reached on the goal line. Siggins tried to do it all from the ruck contest. So clearing the area is Barrow. Towering mark taken by Big Smith, Hayden Smith. Well, he had a man on for the switch, but he kicked it 15 metres backwards off the side of the boot, and now they'll need to pay the other way. Leafhammer dropped a chest mark though. Gathered by Wright, turns into space. Wright chips it over the top. McInnes was back there, but if a moment of the game just encapsulates how this game has gone, it was that there. They've tried the switch into the corridor, missed it horribly, and another turnover straight to Sandrick now.
I was going to say that. If one word to sum up that afternoon or a passage of play, it's definitely the big man's kick. He hasn't been great today.
It hasn't just been him. Leafhammer couldn't quite complete the mark. As Williams clears the defensive 50 here, and can they generate something down the outer side? Flicking it across was Broomhall. He continues his run forward, but they go looking for Blackburn. Edmondson came across, got the punch. Campbell runs straight in there to Broomhall, and he's held up for a ball up. 19 minutes gone, final term.
At the presser on Tuesday, I believe it was, or No, it would have been Tuesday, Friday. Adam Bester talked about North Hobart's fitness, and it's definitely stacking up here against Lauderdale.
So Walsh, and up and under, out of bounds on the full. Demons will take over at half back. It's going to be a big night for the North Hobart Football Club. Good crowd here. They've enjoyed the performance of their players. And they have been a fired-up unit from the outset. And enjoy this victory as Sandrick takes the mark here, just extends the Dukes, had the reach on Sutton. Chips it over the top for Norton. Norton for McGuinness to Finlay Poke. Poke over the top there. He found Hilda. Hilda's kick, not a good one. Picked off by Suki. He drives it out of defence to Walsh. Battled hard as Walsh found Smith. Smith back to Walsh. Walsh spots a target at half forward. And Wiggins has Blackburn all on his lonesome. He'll take the mark and contest it inside 50, and he'll go back with a chance to kick their first of the final term. At this point, though, it'll be little more than a consolation marker. So Stixie Blackburn try and cut the margin back to 33 points here. It's been a dirty day in goal kicking for Lauderdale. They've missed their chances pretty consistently. Can Blackburn get one now? No, he can't. He also hangs it out to the left. And they're now 5 goals, 14. And I think I know what they're going to be working on at training this week.
Get them in the goal square and kick him out on the lead, and then a few set shots, I reckon.
Barrow just dropped one off there for Stephenson, who dropped the chest mark but had time to recover and chip to the back pocket. Driven down the outer wing. Smith comes across, but Jackson takes... Spencer White, the other big ruck, comes across there. Just running out of room.
They were on from the outset, North Hobart, just by the way they celebrated that first goal. Everyone getting around, they were certainly built up for this game, and it's shown today with the ferocity that they've played with.
Sandrick in the ruck on this occasion, palmed it down. Flicked the handball out there looking for Wiggins. Demons take over and retreat deep into their defence for Campbell. He goes back to Barrow. Barrow's got Jackson. And Jackson in turn has Young. So they work the switch pretty well. Next in the chain should be Hasty. But apparently it's infectious as this one's just skewed out of play, and Bell Chambers will take over at half forward.
I think what we're seeing here is an add-on from last week, Drewy. 164 pressure rating for North Hobart, and it's clearly showed that they've added on at training this week.
The ball's deep in the forward line here, balking one way, almost caught in a tackle. Well, then charged down was Barrow. And there was Broomhall, some support from Williams. They force a stoppage here. So nearing the finish line now. 38 points. It's been strong showing from the Demons for their first victory of the year. Came in 0-2 off the back of 2 pretty heavy defeats. And this has been quite the response. All in dispute at ground level. Sandrick's been tough in there all day. He lays the tackle. Nice Walsh. For the Bombers. Arguing the point as this one's thrown up there. Sandrick continuing to ruck. Walsh throws it on the boot. And again it's Campbell. Taking the intercept mark. Gets it moving quickly. Gave it off to White. Jackson in the back pocket. And Jackson can chip shot to Edmondson. No rush here. Ryan Edmondson sends it wide, too wide. And Bell Chambers will take it. He gets it moving quickly, punches it into the corridor. Good kick on this occasion. Found Williams. Williams chips inside. Oh, good defence. Breaking back into there was Monks. Norton. Just a bit of a fumble. Sammy Siggins snaps towards goal. Can he finally get one in the final term? He does. Sam Siggins slams it on the boot, and they finally get a goal in the final term. They've been threatening to do so for large parts of the quarter. It's been up here, and finally someone puts one through the middle. Sam Siggins cuts the margin back to 32.
They probably needed that in the first few minutes of the quarter, Drewy, but yeah, really good goal from Sam Siggins. He's a competition best player award last year, I believe, and showing his skill again with that snap around the body.
Yeah, it's been a tough day for Sammy Siggins, but he's fought on and he gets himself a goal there as we tick towards the conclusion of this one. Smith in the ruck, and full the way of Jackson, who just volleys it out of mid-air once more. It's been the go-to move at times today for Nick Jackson. Ridley able to clear the area, goes looking for Walsh, sticks out a mid, and there's the siren. The North Hobart Demons win by 32 points with a dominant performance here on their home deck on ANZAC Day. The intensity and pressure they brought from the outset was first rate, and they are well deserving of this win. 12-10-82, defeating Lauderdale 6-14-50. It was never really in doubt from midway through that third term when they just seized control of the contest. Lauderdale, well, they were their own worst enemy at times with some of the skill errors they had, but credit to the Demons for the pressure they brought, and a pretty comprehensive victory, that one.
Dominant from the outset, North Hobart. It's just so good to see a North Hobart team that are competing again. Last year was a tough year for them, and a really good win today after two heavy losses, as you spoke about, against Launceston and Kingborough on their home deck in round one. And to come back this week shows a lot of willpower, and Adam Bester has obviously hyped them up for this game, and so impressive that they've come out here and from the outset really dominated from the first goal. And to see the kicking on point, I think we see who's probably a bit more efficient kicker at the moment, so Alan Christensen will have a bit to deal with there. But yeah, just from the outset, Drew, you could see that they were switched on, and it was just so pleasing to see.
Yeah, they brought the heat. You could see the first goal of the day, everyone ran to celebrate. Same with the second and third. There was a real energy about them, the Demons. The body language was fantastic out there. They were fired up for this contest. They were eager to make a statement after a pretty disappointing opening couple of weeks to the season. I think they were eager for a response. Boy, did they deliver. That was comprehensive. A 32-point victory. Lauderdale, look, they might have been able to apply the pressure and bring back some of those mental demons for North Hobart if they had been able to kick a little bit better throughout the day, but both their field kicking and goal kicking really let them down at times, and the Demons took full advantage. They were the better side. They deserved the win. They moved to 1 and 2, and we'll celebrate that one this evening. The fans here loved it. It was a good crowd, and I think they'll be ready to greet them post-game. So we'll have the post-game presentation here.
Who have you got, Drewy? I'm going Matt Campbell. He's been enormous today. I know I chucked you under the bus before, but have you had to think about it?
I have. I think there's a few. Campbell was pretty good. The midfield player like Sandrick's game in there. Who else? McCulloch did some nice things, but probably didn't have quite enough opportunity. I'd say probably Norton or Sandrick for me, but I think it was a pretty even performance. I don't think there was a real dominant player on the ground. No one really springs to mind as being the absolute dominant player. Anyway, we'll hand over now, I think, and try to get the audio from the PA of the announcement. So I'll quit my yammering just for a moment. So there we have it, the presentation of the trophy to North Hobart. Spencer White adjudged best on ground. As we said, we were kind of figuring out who it could be. There were plenty of candidates. It was a very even display, but White getting the nod from the voters. And that will be all for us here at North Hobart Oval. Thanks for joining on the call today, mate.
Thanks for having me, Drew. It's been a good weekend with you, and again, great to be here on ANZAC Day. It's my first big game, and I'm sure I'll have plenty more, but just a big thank you to you for having me, and big occasion today. North Hobart stepped up, so thanks for listening to me throughout the afternoon, and Drew, you done superb like always.
Well, thank you, sir, and thank you for tuning in to the viewers. We'll be back next week. A couple of Sunday games next week in the TSL, a result of these Tuesday games here to give the players time to recover. We'll catch all those games live from us here at North Hobart Oval on a big banner day for the North Hobart Demons. They claimed a statement victory over Lauderdale. 12-10-82 defeated the Bombers 6-4-40. The best on ground medal going to Spencer White. And us here in the commentary booth, it's bye for now.